All right, welcome. PFF halftime Periscope with PFF Steve. That is me. I will let everybody have a chance to join, but welcome in. Is everybody enjoying the Thursday night game? Little ugly one so far. Jaguars not looking so hot on either side of the ball. Mariota's the best QB in the AFC South, yeah, other than maybe Andrew Luck. So number two, and it's a big margin right now between Luck and Mariota. Anyway, welcome in, everyone. We have been doing this every Thursday night, every Monday night at halftime of the game. Do appreciate you guys joining us. We have all of our guys at PFF working really hard on the game right now. Yes, I am from Mass. And all of our guys, about 15 guys, working on the game, collecting data. Hopefully get you guys some up-to-date information as our guys finish up that last Titans drive right now. But, yeah, it's an ugly one so far for Jacksonville. You know, the defense, some of those running lanes, Derrick Henry bouncing outside, DeMarco Murray bouncing outside for those touchdowns, just the contained defense for Jacksonville not looking good at all. And Blake Bortles still really struggling on offense. We were on the SiriusXM NFL show today, Pro Football Focus show on the XM Channel 88 NFL channel, talking about Allen Robinson, and you know, he's definitely a buy low type of guy in fantasy, but at some point he will break out. At some point he'll be okay, but Bortles is definitely struggling with accuracy. I do agree with that. I know everybody's talking about ratings in this game. Stick with it, though. Stick with it. It'll be all right. I just still think Allen Robinson is a buy low type of option. He was so good last season that, he's only caught one of his 10 deep balls so far this year. That was his game last year. I think he'll be okay. You just got to give it some time. Buy low option, Allen Robinson. Is Bortles' throwing motion really the cause of most of his problems? Yeah, a lot of them. I think he's always had this throwing motion. It's just a matter of being able to repeat your motion in and out. I thought his rookie season, he had similar issues. I think his front hand is kind of all over the place. That hurts accuracy as well. Big loop in the motion as well. It's not great, but Bortles also isn't reading coverage particularly well. Is it the scheme for Jacksonville? Jacksonville's defensive scheme is this basic cover three. It's not basic, but it's a cover three scheme. Cover three, cover one, a lot like what Seattle does, but it really needs a great pass rush and a lot of athleticism at the linebacker and safety level to be able to cover. And right now, they're just not getting that type of pass rush to be able to run that scheme, really relying on a four-man rush. You need a better group getting after the quarterback. I know they drafted, Dante Fowler, brought in Malik Jackson, but it's just not happening so far for Jacksonville in that scheme. Jonathan Cyprien's playing better, though. He's at least taken, tackling better than he has in previous years. Let's see if we have any grading updates just yet. Will Julius Thomas score a garbage time touchdown? Yes. Blake Bortles is the king of garbage time. He might spread away. He might have 4 garbage time touchdowns. Puslesny, so old. Yes. Even when he wasn't old, Puslesny, not great in the middle of that defense. Just because not the best athlete in the middle there. He's done okay this year, though, for where he's been the last couple seasons. DeMarco Murray injury is the most interesting thing. Yeah, the Titans D-line, really good. Arakpo and Morgan having a nice year on the edge. Jarrell Casey, still one of the most underrated players in the league. Carl Klug? I think it's Klug. Never said that out loud before. Is it Klug? I need pronunciation help here. But he's good on the interior. The guy can rush the passer. Is Marquise Lee the best receiver? I wouldn't say that just yet. Hurds and Robinson have, they have the track record, I think. They have enough of a track record that you have to trust them to bounce back. Still difficult, but there was a one sack on Bortles where linebackers in the gap and they just let him go through. That's just terrible pass protection. It wasn't an exotic scheme from Tennessee, but that was bad. Those are the types of things that are really crushing the Jacksonville offense, in addition to Bortles' inconsistency. Let's see what we have here. Bortles so far 1 for 5 on passes thrown 10-plus yards in the air. not good. Mariota looks pretty sharp on the other end. And that's good because he's not looked great this season. Titans fans yelling at us all the time that we're harsh on Mariota, but still too many fumbles in the pocket, poor decisions with the ball, and Mariota just hasn't made that year two step that we were hoping to see. Tonight's great, good step in the right direction, but need to see more from Mariota. Hasn't been great this season. Why is Jacksonville so bad? They've added a lot of talent and they just have not improved. I think there might be something scheme-wise, particularly on the defensive side of the ball. They're trying to duplicate that Seattle defense, that four-man rush, cover extremely well on the back end, play sound run defense, and it just hasn't worked out so far. I do appreciate everybody coming in tonight. I am at PFF_Steve. Be sure to hit me up on Twitter as well with any other questions you might have. We're going to see what Henry can do this half. Henry has looked excellent throughout the preseason, early in the season. So I'm looking forward to seeing what he can do. I never saw him as a first-round type of running back. Still saw him as more of a third or fourth type of guy. But I think he's shown a little bit more than that so far. Moving extremely well and fresh after not having to run 35 times a game like he did last season. Mariota is up and down with every game. That is an issue. Ramsey's doing okay. We have a negative grade, it looks like, so far today. What we have in coverage on Ramsey. He's given up a catch for 16 yards so far from what I've seen. And maybe a missed tackle. No, 5 tackles and a run stop so far. Not a bad start by Ramsey. Oh, penalty as well. Did have a penalty, which hurts the grade. But overall, Ramsey is a nice player, taking to the outside cornerback role extremely well. Is Matt Ryan elite? No. Very good. He did miss Henry on the touchdown, which was rare because Ramsey was one of our top-graded run-stopping corners last year. So Henry beating him to the edge was big. That was not a common occurrence for Ramsey last year in college. Likely replacement for Bradley. I've heard these Josh McDaniels rumors. I don't think they're the worst rumors in the world. I don't mind a Josh McDaniels to Jacksonville marriage. I think that would work out pretty well. MVPs for the year so far. Does Brady count? Only playing 3 games? Honestly, Andrew Luck, I know they're not winning. Andrew Luck's playing really good ball. Throw David Johnson in that mix, perhaps? MVP's tough. I don't like anybody so far. How good can Bosa be? He's been outstanding so far. We compared him to Cameron Jordan coming out. Perhaps a little, maybe we underestimated him a little bit. Joey Bosa has the most pressures through 3 games of anybody that we've tracked since 2006, out of all edge rushers. So he's been outstanding. I think a lot of people overthought Bosa during draft season. I think a lot of people liked him but didn't love him. Didn't have the bends, didn't have enough sacks in college, but Bosa was our top-graded edge rusher in 2014 and 15 in college, meaning he outgraded Dante Fowler, Vic Beasley, Bud Dupree, all these guys that went in the first round in 2015. He outgraded them, outgraded everybody last year. He's been outstanding, and I expect a lot from him. Tom Coughlin back to Jacksonville. I'd love to see that, only if he comes with Brunell. Coughlin plus Brunell. I'm starting the hashtag. Coughlin and Brunell back to Jacksonville because Brunell is my favorite quarterback of all time. And we're starting that. Let's make this work. Coughlin and Brunell back to Jacksonville. Is that bad periscoping? Me typing? Setting up, tweeting at the same time? All right, everybody retweet that from at PFF_Steve. Coughlin and Brunell back to Jacksonville. That's what we want to see. What else do we have here? Are the Titans winning? Yes, by quite a bit. Again, appreciate everybody coming in. I am at PFF_Steve. Be sure to check out all of our fun stuff at ProFootballFocus.com. All sorts of podcasts as well. The NFL podcast, college podcast, fantasy podcast, and my personal favorite, my quarterback podcast with former NFL quarterback Zach Robinson. We break down quarterback play in depth every single week. We have a good couple up this week. We've got Carson Wentz, Sam Bradford breakdown, some Phillip Rivers, Ryan Tannehill, all sorts of good stuff. Bring back Fred Taylor while you're at it. Let's do that too. Add Fred Taylor to the hashtag. We need Fred in there as well. Those late 90s, early 2000 Jaguars, they were great. They were really a lot of fun to watch. I did enjoy watching Brunell throw to Smith and McCardle. Zeke is not in the MVP conversation because he's a rookie. No, I think he's been good, but he's also running behind probably the best run-blocking offensive line. Zach Martin is the number 2 run-blocking guard. We have Travis Frederick, the number 2 run-blocking center. He's getting a lot of help. Zeke has the 5th highest percentage of his yards coming before contact, meaning the offensive line is helping out quite a bit. I see a Von Miller MVP. I like it. Von's up there as well. He might be even better than last season so far. Is Ajayi for real? Yes. I think he is. I think he's making up for an average offensive line. They've been better than they've been in the past, but he's doing a lot of that work, getting to the edge, breaking tackles. I like what Ajayi is doing. He won't rush for 200 again this week, though. That's too much. How's Mike Pouncey played? He's always pretty solid. Mike Pouncey's always a solid player. Let's see what his grade is this year. I don't have it off the top of my head. Fitzpatrick MVP for the Jaguars. I mean, for the Patriots, for the AFC East, throwing too many passes to the defense. David Johnson, best running back in the game. I think he's in the MVP race. I would need the Cardinals to get back into it a little bit more. I think they need Carson Palmer. They need Carson Palmer to play average football. Play average football, trust that defense, trust David Johnson, they'll be okay. Actually, Mike Pouncey's struggling a little bit more than he has in the past. 72.2 overall grade, number 28 among the centers. Does Brady have a shot at the MVP? I think if the rest of the MVP candidates fail, he might have a shot. It does hurt that he missed 4 games, though. Well, it looks like they're getting back from halftime. And do appreciate the feedback. Love the QB podcast. Keep up the great work. Spread the word, please. QB podcast. Get there. Download it on iTunes. That's how we know you love us. Rate it 5 stars. That's what helps us spread the word. We're having a lot of fun with it, breaking down QB play as in-depth as we possibly can. So, hey, there's the kickoff. Let's get back to the game. Please join us every Thursday, every Monday night for the Periscope. Get to ProFootballFocus.com and enjoy the rest of the game. After show, let's see. Let's do it, maybe. If you guys want to do it, we'll do it post-game show as well. Talk some college football as well. Thanks, guys.